Welcome to the Business Chaser, your quick pour of strategy, clarity, and momentum. We skip the small talk and get straight to the strategy here in these bite-sized episodes. We're here to help you grow smarter, market better, and chase what matters, all in 15 minutes or less. I'm your host, Lauren Najar, and today we're going to be diving into messy action. Tune in and let's chat. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Business Over Cocktails. I'm Lauren Najar, and thank you for joining me today on our Business Chaser episode. Today, I want to talk about if I were starting my business today, knowing what I know now, what things would be different. And so as I talk about my own journey, I invite you to reflect as well. And I don't want to say, I regret anything, because I don't. And as I talk, you will hear that I don't regret anything. But I've been building this business now for 7 years. And needless to say, I have a lot of lessons that I've learned over the course of these 7 years. This question actually came to me from someone that submitted a question on Instagram. So I was looking for questions of hey, what do you want to hear on the podcast? And someone asked me this question. So shout out to Lillian who asked this question. And I will say, so before I forget, if you ever have any questions about the guests, about any of the episodes, any follow-up questions, please message me at Lauren Najar on Instagram. Or you can message the podcast page, which it's at Business Over Cocktails on Instagram. Or you can email me, laurennajar@laurennajar.com. And I'm happy to give you the follow-up. So you can ask the audience members, or you can ask the guests that I have on here. So yeah. So I think that there's 3 total things I want to talk about in this Business Chaser episode. I am going to record, I think, a much longer episode that will come out down the road that will talk much more about my journey, more in-depth things. So that will be a very good, juicy solo episode. But I think I want to focus really quick for this Business Chaser, since we want to do this 15 minutes or less, the 3 things that I would truly do differently in my business. And the first thing is that I would think about the busyness that I am doing. So I started my business when I was building my 9-to-5, and I could outwork anybody. I'm a very good worker. I'm a very hard worker. That's what I prided myself on for a very, very, very long time. I felt that more equaled more money. I needed to fill my calendar with calls, doing things, posting. I did not want to be doing anything, right? So if I didn't have any calls in my calendar, I was posting more and more and more and more. I thought that being busy meant that was going to make me more money. So hustling, right? And so I think the difference here of what I do now, because I still work really hard, I still have a lot to do. I'm probably working even more than I ever have been in my life, but it's because I'm so clear on the vision and I know what each task needs to be done to get to where I want to be, right? There's a huge difference between that versus just spinning my wheels, trying to get attention from somebody to eventually book a call with me and to eventually sign a client. And so I think having those boundaries with yourself, that's one thing, but the clarity and alignment is so important because, even on your hardest days, you know that you can get through your hardest days, your toughest days, the days where you're working so hard, because you know where you're going. And now I have that focus, and it's been so amazing. And I've loved my business, especially over the last year. It's been so much fun, but I know I've pulled late nights. I know that I work really hard. I know that I'm not just sitting and manifesting and floating around. I know I'm working really hard, and I know I'm working harder than a lot of people to get to where I want to be. And so there's that difference between the burnout that I experienced at the beginning of my business, doing way too much, thought that was being productive, but it wasn't going anywhere. I know that this is going somewhere. So that would be the first thing. The next thing would be focusing on connection versus volume. And so again, this goes back to wanting to work really hard. And I feel again, we think of volume, we want numbers, we want people to see our stuff, we want visibility, but like making those connections in depth, because then they also can help you in the long run. That leads to referrals, that leads to connections, that leads to people mentioning your name somewhere. And so I was too worried about volume and getting people in front of my sales page that I lost a part of myself. I didn't realize that was a part of myself at that time. I was just doing what I was being told, like, oh, you need to message, you need to do all these things, you need to make these connections, you need to talk to people. That's what I was always told, talk to people. And I was talking to people, but I was talking to people like how I thought I needed to talk to people rather than build the relationship with them. So I think like that's just such a huge difference as well, right? It's like the relationship takes time. The trust takes time. The like factor takes time. All of that takes time. So when you are actually focusing on relationships, it's almost like a snowball effect. So you're focusing on like, okay, like let's just build these relationships. And the snowball effect, you can look at it two ways. The relationship starts like this, right? And for those of you who are just listening to audio, is like it's a tiny little snowball. Then as your relationship grows, the snowball grows, right? So like it's a snowball effect. You keep packing on the snowball. Now, when you keep rolling the snowball down the hill, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. The same thing goes with the number of conversations and the number of relationships, right? We can say that building relationships, of course, takes time, but so does, building the perfect snowman with the perfect snowball. So it is a snowball effect where the more relationships you authentically build, the better it is for your business. And so imperfect conversations, normal conversations, are going to outweigh copying and pasting 100 DMs a day. So like, we don't need to do that. We need to focus on genuine connections and relationship building. So the third thing I want to say is, mindset. And if you were here and if you knew me in 2018, you're going to laugh at that because I did not care about mindset. I did not think the mindset had anything to do with building this business. It was not a thing. It was, I'm going to do everything that I can, with checklists, with the strategy. Like, I know I can outwork anybody, but people telling me that I need to like, what's your capacity? Or like, what's your mindset? Confidence, all this stuff. Like, I didn't think of anything. I just like powered my way through. And little did I know all of those things were probably the things that were holding me back. And they clearly were because over the last couple of years now, I would say, especially since becoming a mom, that my confidence has like truly like shot through the roof. And like, I told my therapist the other day, and yes, I go to therapy. I told my therapist the other day, like I went to bed the other night and was like, man, I really like myself now. And it's because of all the work I've done on my business. I never enjoyed myself. I never was proud of myself. Like I could say I'm proud of myself. I can stare at myself in the mirror. I can say all these affirmations, but it's all BS to me. I have to feel it. So how do I make myself feel it? I have to live up to what I am thinking or how I view myself or who I want to be, right? So like if I want to be this person that's going to lead crowds of people or speak in front of people or, grow a 7-figure, 8-figure business, then who do I need to become? And I could say all those things like, okay, great. Like I can visualize it, but now I have to put it into action. So who do I need to become and how do I lead myself so that I can lead my clients? So business strategy, yes, that's important, but like the mindset of this is so, so, so important. I have clients a lot of times too that are very similar to me where, we get on these coaching calls and a lot of times the coaching calls are very like, they're focused on mindset and they're focused on like limiting beliefs and things that the client is going through. And at the end of the call, they feel better, but then they're always apologetic and they're like, oh, I know, like you're not a mindset coach or like this isn't what we planned on talking about today. Or like, I feel bad because I feel like I wasted your time. I'm like, no, please. Like this is the most important stuff. This stuff right here is going to help you be more successful. I can slack you the strategy and I know you're going to do it because it's an easy checklist. Strategy is easy. There's no secret. Every strategy is out there for you to get, right? If you feel like you're missing a piece and you don't know what it is, it's always going to be your mindset. It's your mindset that you think that there's a secret. So that's kind of where I want to end things there. So I want to know if I don't know how long you've had your business, if it's been, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, 6 years, whatever it is. If you want to go back to the beginning and like how you think about yourself, what would you do differently if you started your business today? Like, what are the lessons? Feel free to share that with me. I would love to know. And you can like journal about that. That would be a really good journal prompt actually. But talk about the lessons that you've learned along the way and how far you've come. Like, that's such a good way to journal, reflect on it. I'm a huge reflector. My business is coming up on 7 years pretty soon in September. So by the time this airs, it'll be like the next month. And yeah, like, share it with me. If you want to share your takeaways, I'd love to hear them. And again, the offer still stands. Any questions that you have or any follow-up questions, I might just turn it into a podcast episode. So feel free to submit that. But I want to tell you that as a result of you journaling and reflecting, and if you feel the need to sit down and do that, I encourage you to do that. But we get to learn and we get to lead differently now. Like, how cool is that? Like, all these lessons that we have, we get to change the game whenever we want. And so I want to leave you with that little note at the end there of we get to learn, we get to lead differently whenever we want to. We can evolve, we can change. So thank you for coming to this episode. I'm so grateful that you're listening, and I hope you like this episode. So please feel free to review, tag, share any of your takeaways. I'd love to hear them. I'll see you in the next episode.